welcome all and a beautiful and wonderful afternoon right here on your afternoon drive live with Maponga J, broadcasting from Harare, Zimbabwe. Harare, Zimbabwe. What a joy and what a privilege to meet up with all of you on these high streets of IT and information sharing. It's a season of learning here on your afternoon drive where we're discussing African politics, African science, African medicine, African politics, fashion, music, art, and everything else between. The whole idea is to get the African people talking about their problems and finding those African solutions. I'm excited for this afternoon. I have an idea that has crossed my mind that I would like to share with you, a beautiful and wonderful idea that has crossed my mind for this afternoon. You will be able to see the video and you can share it on your various platforms. And if you want also to grow your own audience, sometimes it's while we are running it this side, you can also log in onto your own site also so that you can grow your audience. While I am growing, you are also growing. So it's not always about you working as an individual, you can also work with others, and we grow these platforms together. Welcome. Thank you for being with us for this afternoon. I have a beautiful idea that I wanted to share with many of us for this afternoon. The idea of growing the African GDP, growing the African GDP, and how do we maximize and leverage on our melanin as an African continent at large. I've noticed the last few days there's been quite some interesting movements on the Kenya side and on the COMESA side on regrouping and resetting up of their financial institutions. They're inclusive to that preferential trade areas, the African Bank that has been put into place, and even the Eureka big law is the immigration laws that they have actually been able to start putting in space now. Specifically speaking to the American people, particularly the Afro-American people, becoming part of the African citizenry. I did my small little research to notice maybe out of the 20 trillion GDP of America, about 4.2, almost 5 trillion of that falls in the hands of the minority income. That is shared between the Chinese, the Asians, the Hispanics, and the blacks. And if you look into that piece of information, you may find actually that the black market on its own, it's almost ranging between 900 billion to 1.4 trillion dollars. That's readily in the hands of our fellow African brothers who are in diaspora. If you take that amount and you add it up to the Caribbean budgets, this includes all the islanders that are in the islands, you may actually end up with a good little 5, 7, even 10 trillion worth of business in the Atlantic. And if you add up another half a billion in the European space, and then you add up of what is in Africa, you might be able to start understanding how much of the economy is actually in black hands. That's a discussion which we can stretch another day. But what I'm interested in for today, it is to look specifically at how countries such as Zimbabwe can benefit from the Afro-American budgets and money to expand and grow our businesses locally. Bearing in mind that we are under sanctions and we cannot access the normal money, which is the donor money or this, grant money from IMF and World Banks and etc. You may find ultimately what is important is for the Zimbabwean community, and I'm sending this message strictly and even purely so to my honorable president, Honorable Dambudzo Mnangagwa, that I wish he can hear this piece of information to the effect that we can, as Zimbabwe, uh, slacken our laws on the Afro-American population that is in the United States of America. I would say so for a very strategic reason, because if you look at the budgets that they have as Afro-Americans, if you look at the resources that they have, if you look at the skills that they have and the experience that they have, and if we can meet them halfway on the African continent with user-friendly, environmentally friendly, economically friendly, politically friendly environment, we could actually be able to tap into those resources and those financial institutions to come and do direct investments in terms of our African continent, and particularly Zimbabwe's GDP growth. What does that mean, therefore? It means that we start up doing maybe one or two conferences, one here and one in the United States of America, where we then attract the business community, the Afro business community, and we must be preferential. We're not just saying all Americans must come. No, we will choose and particularly give preference to our Afro-American brothers and sisters who want to come to Zimbabwe and do business here. We sell ourselves as a country in those spaces. We're running conferences, recruiting them, not only recruiting them, profiling them as to what kind of skills do they have and what kind of resources do they have. Then come back to our country here, then identify certain mines, identify certain businesses, manufacturing businesses, agricultural businesses, processing businesses, whatever they are. And then we make an allocation strictly to be used by the Afro-American community. By so doing, I think that we can actually be able to put ourselves in a better business position by attracting those that have means, that have money, that have skills, and of course, that have the color to come and work together with us. I would rather have us as a country beginning to grow together with our fellow brothers and sisters who are in diaspora of the melanated skin like we are, than being excited about the Chinese. Whatever the Chinese are bringing, whether they're bringing 1 billion or they're bringing 2 billion, the Afro-American community can match those budgets pound for pound. So what we need to pick up some certain farms in the country, which we can allocate for the repatriation and resettlement of the Afro-American population that want to come back and settle in Zimbabwe as their home of choice. And Africa being home to all melanated people, I think this window of opportunity gives Zimbabwe an added advantage, that if we can begin to think and move in this direction, in terms of creating a market space where the Afro-American community can combine with our universities, with our industries, with our factories, with our mines, and etc., we can begin to have a team that can grow this economy to immeasurable heights, so to speak. We have enough to offer in the country. We have flora to offer. We have game reserves to offer. We have falls to offer. We have a rich culture that we can offer. And I think any Afro-American person out there who would want to come and settle in Africa, surely Zimbabwe is, could be, should be, must be a destination of choice. As such, therefore, I want to request that the government, we relook at our immigration policies, particularly to the Afro-American disenfranchised slaves that have been abducted from Africa into Europe and into America and into the Caribbean and into the Pacific. If they want to come back to Africa, why not create Zimbabwe to become a lucrative destination where they can come and settle? And we can begin to enjoy the skills that they have. And we grow this economy together. I would rather have us grow as brothers and sisters than being excited about the Chinese who are here tomorrow and they're going the following day. So if we can do that, Kenya is already started moving in that direction. Ghana has also moved in that direction. And I think Gambia, if I'm not mistaken, they're also beginning to think in that direction. There should be no complication except for neo-colonialistic policies of immigration that make it impossible for fellow Africans to come and live here. But if we want to raise money, if we want to raise clean money, it is high time that we package our countries in Africa to become environmentally friendly, to become immigration friendly to the fellow Black Afro-Americans, be them Europeans, be them Americans, be them in the Pacific. They are purely African. It must not be difficult for us to create very user-friendly immigration policies that can attract them back into the country. And when they come back into the country, they are not coming back empty-handed. They are bringing their families. They are bringing their resources. They are bringing their investments. They are bringing their retirement monies. They are bringing their skills. And they are bringing fresh husbands and fresh wives for our children. They are bringing education, professors for universities. They are bringing inventors. They are bringing musicians. They're bringing movie stars, and they're bringing with us studios, and name it, that is out there. All we need to do as Africans is to make sure that we create an environment, we create a continent that is friendly to the diasporans. And you, as a diasporan, if you want to come back to Africa, come around for a visit, for a start, have a look at what we have, go back home and start thinking correctly. Identify what you want, the market that you want to get involved in, be it agriculture, be it textiles, be it mechanical engineering, be it technology, computers, construction, name it. You know what you are skilled in, be it education, for crying out loud, alternative health, lifestyles, and the list is endless. Then you come around here. Number one, even of now, you can simply come here, identify the business that you want to come and add value to. Ask for equity and shareholding in that business. If that becomes too complicated, come and open your own company. Bring your own investments. We should be able to handhold you around the governments and other institutions and assist you to settle here. But yes, Zimbabwe is open for business. And I think we also want to start announcing to the diasporans out there who want to retire in a peaceful, beautiful country down in the sub-Sahara Zimbabwe, the great Zimbabwe. You may want to do your good research around the country. Don't hear everything that they're saying on the media space. Some of it is big lies and is not true at all. There is a lot of beautiful things that are happening here. As of the last week, we have just opened 5 beautiful dams, And these are not just ordinary dams that are looking, the dams that are on the mountaintops and looking into the waters. Beautiful plots that are up for sales along these beautiful mountains where you can secure yourself a plot and build yourself a beautiful home, then restauranting issues, then hotel issues, then other businesses and other things can start growing around that. But it's a beautiful opportunity for you to start considering talking to us right here in Zimbabwe. And should you want some more details, please inbox me and we can see how we can assist each other to grow this economy together. It would be nice one more time to see the reconstruction of the great Zimbabwe to the glory that it had before colonialism came and destroyed what we had. We have enough 82 rare minerals that the world is looking for. We have them in the country here, and many of those properties have not been developed, be it chrome, be it platinum, be it uranium. We've done a bit of work on the chrome side and platinum, but we have the tins, we have the asbestoses, we have the manganese, we have the name it. We have even gems, we have emeralds and diamonds and the rest, not just on the mining sector, with beautiful 5 weathers in the country, with region 1 to region 5, different crops, different rainforests we have here, dry veld for your farming and cattle ranching and etc., right up into the wetlands, into the upper eastern highlands. Beautiful opportunity for you to enjoy and retire in a country that is growing. Take your money away from the beast, unplug from the matrix, and come down to Africa and see if you cannot find yourself a beautiful home from whence you can retire. With those few words, I want to thank you. Share this message far and wide. There is an opportunity that we can grow, and our governments must start, as of now, must start sharing good Zimbabwean story and opening much user-friendly immigration laws so that we can attract those that have means on the Afro-American side, our brothers and sisters in diaspora, to come and grow this economy with us. With those few words, I thank you and I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.